Have you ever felt that something is wrong with what we were taught about money? Like the rules we follow day after day are leading us nowhere? What if I told you that this is no coincidence? The truth is that there are 10 big lies about money. Lies that have been told to keep you trapped in a cycle of work, debt, and frustration. And these lies are costing you dearly every day you continue to believe them. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in the world, once said, "The biggest financial danger is believing in something that isn't true." And in this video, I'm going to expose these lies, one by one, so you can finally break this cycle. Here's the crucial point. If you don't watch until the end, you risk continuing to believe the biggest of these lies. This last one might be silently sabotaging your money and keeping you from achieving the financial freedom you deserve. So, get ready. Grab a notebook, write down each of these revelations, and above all, don't let these lies keep you poor. Let's begin. 10th lie: just work hard and you'll be rich. How many times have you heard the phrase, "work hard and you'll be rewarded with wealth"? Maybe you've believed it for years, but let me tell you, this is one of the biggest lies ever told about money. Think about it. If hard work alone was enough, people with the toughest jobs like construction workers, cleaners, or factory workers would be millionaires. But the reality is quite different, isn't it? The problem with this idea is that it ignores something crucial: the way money actually works. While most of us kill ourselves working to earn money, the rich take a different approach. They make money work for them. That's right. They create passive income streams, investments, businesses, royalties that keep generating money even while they sleep. And do you know what's even more shocking? It doesn't take being a genius, it takes strategy. And here's the truth no one told you: hard work alone doesn't protect you. Relying on a single paycheck is like walking a tightrope. Any misstep could bring you down. That's why the rich diversify. They have multiple income streams because they know that wealth doesn't just come from physical effort. It comes from using effort the right way. Now, before you think you need to give up everything, hold on. Start small. How about investing in an index fund, creating a side hustle with something you already know how to do, or even renting out space in your home? The important thing isn't working more. It's working smarter. The idea that effort alone is enough is outdated. Now, let's talk about something even sneakier that could be sabotaging your money without you realizing it. 9th lie: saving is all you need. Saving seems like the right answer to everything when it comes to money. Who hasn't heard that saving a little every month is the best way to ensure a secure future? But the reality is that this idea on its own is a trap. Inflation, that invisible enemy, is eating away at the value of every dollar you leave sitting in the bank. The money you saved yesterday is no longer worth the same today. Think about it. $100 you put in savings 10 years ago doesn't buy the same amount it did back then. This means that while you save, you're losing. And the rich know this. They don't let their money sit idle. They make it grow by investing in assets like stocks, real estate, and businesses. That's what truly protects the value of money against inflation. Now, saving isn't entirely wrong. It's important to have an emergency fund for unexpected situations, a car breakdown, a medical bill. But the question is what you do with the money left over. Instead of just saving, why not put that money to work? Start with something simple, like an index fund, or even explore low-risk investments like treasury bonds. While many people save thinking they're on the right path, the rich are investing in things that increase in value. That's why the phrase, "idle money is lost money," makes so much sense. Have you ever thought about how you could turn your habit of saving into a habit of multiplying? The idea that saving is enough is comforting but dangerous. There's a much more effective way to protect and grow your money. And that leads us to the next hidden truth. Is all debt really bad? You're going to be surprised. 8th lie: debt is always bad. Debt. Just hearing that word makes many people shudder. After all, we've always been told that debt is something to avoid at all costs. But this view isn't just limited, it's wrong. Not all debt is bad. Some debts, in fact, can be the key to building wealth if used wisely. Consider this. While most people take on debt to buy things that lose value, like electronics or clothes, the rich do exactly the opposite. They use debt to acquire assets, like income-generating real estate, or to invest in businesses. For example, a loan to buy a rental property can generate more money than the interest you pay to the bank. This is what we call good debt. Now, this doesn't mean that any debt is valid. Bad debts, like credit card balances or financing for items that depreciate, can destroy your financial health. The difference lies in how you use the money. Before taking on debt, ask yourself, will this generate a return or just put me in trouble? This simple reflection can change your relationship with credit. Of course, no one gets rich just by taking out loans. It requires planning. If you don't know what you're doing, even good debt can turn into a burden. But with knowledge and strategy, credit can be a powerful tool for building wealth. Imagine using financing to open a franchise or invest in education that increases your salary. That's debt working for you. The point isn't to avoid debt, but to learn to differentiate it. Have you thought about how your life would change if you transformed fear of debt into an opportunity for growth? And speaking of opportunities, you need to know why trying to look rich might be the biggest financial mistake someone can make. Seventh lie, you need to look rich to be rich. How many times have you seen someone driving a luxury car, wearing designer clothes, and thought, that person must be rich? This is the mistake most of us make. The appearance of wealth is often just that, appearance. Behind the glamour, there could be a mountain of debt and a near-zero bank account. The truth is that trying to look rich is one of the fastest ways to stay poor. Designer clothes, financed cars, and expensive dinners might impress others, but do nothing to build your real wealth. Those who truly have money don't need to prove it. Do you know why? Because they're busy investing in assets that generate returns, not in things that only drain their wallet. Think about it. The owner of Louis Vuitton is one of the richest men in the world. And who funds that wealth? People who spend money. They don't have to buy products that lose value the moment they leave the store. While some go into debt to look successful, others invest in stocks, real estate, and businesses that increase in value over time. Of course, there's nothing wrong with treating yourself occasionally, but everything has its limit. Before spending money on something just to impress, ask yourself, will this bring me any return? True financial freedom comes when you prioritize your wealth, not your appearance. A good example, people like Warren Buffett, who live modestly while their investments grow exponentially. Showing off can be tempting, but it doesn't build a legacy. And since we're talking about building something solid, what do you think of the idea of trusting the system to take care of you? It seems safe, but the next truth will show you how risky that can be. Sixth lie. The system will take care of you. How many times have you heard that working hard, contributing to retirement, and paying your taxes is enough to ensure your financial security? This idea is comforting but dangerous. The truth is that the system is designed to work, but not for you. It serves the interests of those already at the top. Retirement plans often don't keep up with inflation, and government benefits can be insufficient or even disappear in the future. Just look at the financial crises that have happened over the past decades. People who spent years contributing to pensions saw everything collapse in a matter of days. What was left for them? Just frustration and unpaid bills. While you blindly trust the system, the rich are creating their own financial security. They invest in assets like real estate, stocks, and businesses that don't rely on anyone to grow. Instead of waiting for a pension or depending on the government, They build diversified portfolios that ensure their independence, no matter what happens. Now, this doesn't mean you should completely ignore the system's benefits. Using it as a starting point is valid, but never as your sole strategy. Start thinking about how you can take control of your finances, invest in knowledge, create income streams, and plan your future based on something you control. It's liberating not to depend on decisions that are out of your reach. And here's a question: do you trust the system that much, or are you ready to create your own security? While you reflect, let's debunk another lie that stirs many emotions. Is money really the root of all evil? Lie, money is the root of all evil. How many times have you heard this phrase? Money is the root of all evil. It's said with such conviction that it sounds like an absolute truth. But the reality is quite different. The problem isn't money, it's how it's used. Money is just a tool, neither good nor bad. It simply amplifies who you already are. Think about it. In the right hands, money can do wonders. It can fund medical treatments, help communities, invest in education, or turn dreams into reality. On the other hand, in the wrong hands, it can fuel greed, corruption, and destruction. What truly makes the difference isn't money itself, but who controls it. This belief that money is evil creates a dangerous block. It makes you feel guilty for wanting more, and that guilt prevents you from seeking financial education or even better opportunities. Have you ever stopped to think about how this idea is affecting your decisions? The fear of money or of becoming greedy might be keeping you stagnant. Look at people like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, who use their wealth for noble causes like eradicating diseases or improving education. These people don't see money as something evil. They see it as a tool to amplify good. And you can do that too. But to do so, you need to break this taboo and learn to handle money without guilt. The problem has never been money. It's the lack of financial education that causes people to misuse it. It's time to change your relationship with it. So far, which lie made the most sense to you? Or which one do you think most people still believe in? Write it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And speaking of limiting beliefs, how about we talk about the idea that wealth is reserved for a select few? That's the next myth to fall. Fourth lie: wealth is only for a few. You know that idea that wealth is an exclusive club reserved for only a select group of people? This is one of the most limiting lies ever told. The truth is that wealth isn't destined for just the privileged. It's available to anyone willing to learn the rules of the game and apply them consistently. What really separates the rich from everyone else isn't luck or family background, but knowledge. Wealthy people understand how money works and know how to use it as a tool to grow. This doesn't mean everyone will become billionaires, but it does mean anyone can improve their financial situation with the right strategies. And it starts with financial education. Today, you have access to more resources than at any other time in history. Books, online courses, podcasts, and even free YouTube videos teach you how to invest, save, and create income streams. For example, did you know that consistently investing in an index fund can, over time, build significant wealth? It doesn't have to be complicated. You just need to start. The biggest obstacle isn't external conditions, but internal belief. If you think wealth isn't for you, you've already lost. That mindset is exactly what the system wants you to believe. The sooner you break that cycle and start thinking like someone who can create wealth, the sooner you'll see changes. Wealth isn't about worthiness, it's about action. And speaking of action, have you ever wondered if living paycheck to paycheck is truly normal? The answer might surprise you and change how you view your finances. Third lie: living paycheck to paycheck is normal. Have you noticed how the idea of living paycheck to paycheck has been normalized? For many, it's just part of life. But the truth is that this pattern isn't just unsustainable, It's dangerous. Depending on the next paycheck to cover basic expenses puts you in a constant state of vulnerability where any emergency can be devastating. The reality is that living this way is a trap. An unexpected medical bill, a car problem, or even a layoff can wipe out months or years of effort. And the worst part? This cycle keeps many people stuck in debt, unable to move forward. But here's the good news. There are ways to break this pattern. The first step is to create an emergency fund. It doesn't have to be huge at first. Even $500 can make a difference in tough times. After that, focus on getting rid of bad debt, the kind with high interest like credit cards. Consider negotiating rates or prioritizing larger payments on these accounts. Small adjustments in your budget can free up money for these goals. Additionally, it's essential to start building income streams beyond your salary. It could be freelance work, a small business, or even a simple investment like index funds. When you start generating money outside your main job, you take the first step to break free from this dangerous dependence. Accepting living paycheck to paycheck means accepting being stuck, but you don't have to settle. And speaking of settling, let's challenge another limiting belief. Is it true that money doesn't buy happiness? Let's explore that next. Second lie, money doesn't buy happiness. How many times have you heard the phrase, money doesn't buy happiness? It sounds wise, doesn't it? But this statement needs a closer look. The truth is that on its own, money might not bring happiness, but it buys something essential: security, freedom, and opportunities. And those things, yes, are fundamental for a happier life. Imagine not having to worry about bills at the end of the month, or being able to care for your family's health without hesitation due to costs. Think of the peace of mind of knowing you have an emergency fund for unexpected events. Isn't that happiness? Money, when used well, removes financial stress and allows you to focus on what truly matters. The problem is that many interpret this phrase literally, as if money were the enemy. But see, we're not talking about spending recklessly or accumulating wealth without purpose. It's about using money as a tool to fund experiences, achieve goals, and help others. An example? Traveling with your family, investing in your children's education, or supporting a cause you believe in. Moreover, the lack of money can, in fact, generate unhappiness. The constant stress of not being able to pay bills or the anxiety of relying on others for emergencies are barriers to happiness. When you master your finances, you gain more than numbers in the bank. You gain quality of life. Money isn't the root of happiness, but it's a powerful catalyst for achieving it. And since we're talking about beliefs that limit us, let's break down the biggest one of all: the idea that there's nothing you can do to change your financial situation. First lie, there's nothing you can do. This is the cruelest lie of all, because it strips away your power to change. How many times have you thought or heard someone say, "My financial situation is out of my control"? This kind of thinking is exactly what keeps so many people stuck in the same place, feeling powerless. But the truth is this: there's always something you can do. Changing your financial situation starts with a simple step: understanding that you're in control. Yes, it might be scary to admit this because it means you're also responsible for your choices. But it's liberating. Financial knowledge has never been as accessible as it is today. You can learn about investments, savings, side incomes, and planning, and implement them even with limited resources. Start small. An example? Open an investment account with small amounts, like in index funds. Or how about dedicating part of your free time to learning something that could generate extra income? Even something simple, like selling products or offering a service, can create an initial impact. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to start somewhere. The system wants you to believe you're stuck because that keeps you dependent. But the truth is that you're not without options. With the right tools, you can get out of debt, build an emergency fund, and even invest for the future. It might take time, but it's entirely possible. The secret is to persist and adjust the plan along the way. If you face similar situations or have your own strategies for overcoming these lies, share them in the comments. I want to build a space where everyone can learn and grow together. Now that all these lies have been exposed, the question is, what are you going to do with this new perspective? This is the starting point to take control of your finances and build the freedom you deserve.